Hello friends, today we will discuss about alter table query in MySQL. Now alter table is going to use to modify the schema of a database or a table. So today we will see how we can perform various operations, schema related operations with the columns. We will see that how can we add a new column, how can we remove a column, how can we change a data type in a column, how can we modify the name of the column, and how can we add a column at specific position in the table. Fine. So today we are going to discuss these 5 things. So let us begin with the very first, that how can we add a column into a table. So to add a column into a table, the syntax is something like this, like alter table, table name, then add space column name, column name, and then column description. So this way we will be able to add the column in the table at last position. Now suppose if we want to add the column at specific position, then in that case simply we need to add the after keyword in the query. So the query will be like alter table, table name, add column, column name, column description after a column name. Now that after a column name will be a name of the column after which we want to add the new column. Fine. So let us see the example of that. Now here we have one table that is called sales, and in that sales table we want to add one column. So the query for that will be like alter table, table name, the name of the table is sales, then we need to write add column, and then name of the column that you want to add. Suppose I want to add a column that is a date of purchase. Fine. Then we need to provide column description. That column description contains the data type of that column and other constraints like whether it will be null or not, whether it is any auto increment or not. So this kind of constraints we can add for that particular column. Fine. So the very first that we need to add is the data type of that particular column. So here I am going to add date, then I am going to add a constraint like not null. Now whenever I am going to add not null constraint, in that particular case I also need to provide some default data that is to be filled in that column. If I am not going to provide default data, then in that case it is going to generate an error. Fine. So what I need to do is I need to provide default data. Fine. So the default data over here I am going to feed like current date and current timestamp. Fine. So the current timestamp I am going to add, and that current timestamp will be saved at initial saved as an initial value when the column is created. Fine. So this way we will be able to add a column into a table. Fine. Now let us click on the go button. So here I have clicked on the go button and the query has been executed successfully. Fine. Now let us browse the table. Here you can see one column has been added and the name of that column is DOP, and the current timestamp has been added into its data. Fine. In each and every row you can find the current timestamp. Over here our data type, you can see in the structure our data type is date. That is why it is showing the date only. If I am going to change the data type of that, then in that particular case it will show me date and time both. Fine. Now let us see another query. Suppose if we want to modify the type of the column. Fine. So currently the type of the column is date. Now I want to modify the type of the column. So how can we do that? So the syntax for that will be alter table, table name, modify column, modify column name, and then we have to provide the description. Fine. So in that description part we have to provide the description that we want to modify. Fine. So let us see the example of that. So here you can see a table where we are having this DOP column that we added recently. Now I am going to change the data type of that. Fine. So the query will be like alter table and then table name, and then after I need to provide the keyword that is called modify. This is going to modify column, say the name of the column is DOP, and over here I am going to modify it like date time. I am going to change the data type of this DOP. Fine. Previously it was date only. Now I am going to add date time. Fine. Now let us see the result of this. So here the data type of this DOP has been changed, and if we are going to look into the table, so here you can see the time is also displayed. Fine. So whenever it is going to generate a new row, in that particular case it will have current date and time both. Fine. Now let us have another type of alter table for the columns, so in which we will be able to change name and type of the column. Here the name is DOP and we want to modify the name as well as we want to modify the type also. So for that we need to use a change keyword. Fine. So here let me write the query. So it will be like the syntax of this particular will be alter table, table name, change column name, and then new column name and description of that new column. Fine. So this is the syntax of that. So now let us see the example of that. So it will be like alter table and the name of the table, that is sales, and then change. Fine. And then the name of the column, so the current name of the column is DOP and I am going to change it, say DOPT, date of purchase and time. Fine. And I am going to provide the description of that. Suppose right now the data type of this column is date and time. I am going to change it to date only. Fine. Now let us see the result of this. So here it has modified the name as well as the data type also. Fine. Now let us see. Fine. Here you can see the name of the column is DOPT now, and then the date over here or the data type over here is modified. Here you can see it has removed the time from the data. Fine. So this way we will be able to alter the table in various ways, like we will be able to add the column, will be able to modify the column, will be able to change the column. Now we will see that how we can drop a column, how can we remove a column from the table. Fine. So I want to remove this DOPT column. So for that simply we need to write a query in specific syntax is like alter table, table name, drop column, column name. It is like alter table, table name, drop column, column name. Fine. So now let us see the example of that. So it will be like alter table, table name is sales, alter table, table name, then drop column, and then name of the column. The name of the column is DOPT. Fine. So this one is going to remove the column from this table. Let's click on the go button. It has been generated a message like, do you really want to execute alter table sales drop down column DOPT? Okay, we want to execute it. Fine. So it has been executed successfully, and then let us see. So that DOPT column has been removed from the table. Fine. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video, and be ready for the upcoming videos. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much.